I was able to get to Arizona versus Lithuania, the B team. We were able to watch Arizona beat Ukraine. Arizona lost to Lithuania 99-88 in that first game. They beat Ukraine 107-85 in game two. I believe they're playing Saturday as well, so keep an eye out for that. Probably streaming on YouTube yet again, and they're a pretty seamless watch. Video quality isn't the best thing in the world, but you get to see a lot of these top freshmen, a lot of the top returners, and one of the best teams in college basketball, and you get a really good sense for what some of these guys are looking like, in terms of the returners. What were they working on in the offseason? In terms of the freshmen, how ready are they to contribute? And what does their potential role look like going into this year? And just stylistically, what is Arizona looking to do? So take it however you want. If you want to stay big picture, if you want to dive into something granular with a specific player. But after these two kind of scrimmages, what were your just initial impressions with Arizona?
I mean, obviously we're overreaction time, but it's like Metcalf said perfectly. This is a fun time to kind of start to get an idea for the impact. The freshmen guys look like they're taking a next step. So, um, and Tommy Lloyd's doing a good job of you're trying to figure out who's going to be in the rotation. So you're playing a lot of names overseas. I think they can do why teams like to do this so much is I think then you're allowed to practice earlier than the rules. If you agree to go overseas and have friendlies, that's why so many teams are doing this. So my biggest takeaway is Metcalf. Big picture wise, if I'm a college basketball fan, I think Arizona's bench is still a work in progress. They're gonna have to figure out some depth pieces, some guys that could be stepping up. I think that will come with time. That's gonna be fine. They got some fun, intriguing names. It's just who's gonna kind of rise to the top, cement themselves. Caleb Holt can play. He's been frozen cold shooting and has been as expected, one of the best players on the court. I mean, I think he's shooting like 30% from the field in his first two games combined on high volume. And he had a game today where it was like 15, 14 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks. He has some possessions defensively where I'm like, oh my goodness, how quick and nasty you are. And I think the big thing for me with Holt, Metcalf, and then I'll let you ramble because spoiler alert, I want to talk about Ivan Kchenkov for probably an hour and a half. But with Holt, he's got to figure out a little bit of it's the good, the classic. We got to pull the reins a little bit to slow him down.
Mhm.
But his isn't off balance. It's just pit bull power into you. Like he gets possessions and like offensive rebounds and works because he's just so physical going at people. Like he goes right into bigs. It's hard to explain, but like you don't see that type of balance composure when you're going at someone. I feel like he's balanced midair balance. You know what I'm trying to say? Like it's kind of freaky when you're like, wow, he just like has a gift to kind of take on contact and just be unfazed at 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, and he's really strong. He's really tenacious. He's got an incredibly high motor and just really good, just kind of like natural balance on a lot of these drives that allows him to kind of create space with those drives, lowers his shoulder, doesn't quite push off, but creates that contact, is able to maintain his own balance. So, like, once he does create that space, he's not rushing or having to like take that second step to readjust or anything like that, and he's able to get a shot up. I thought he looked fantastic, and that's with him not being able to buy a shot at the rim from 3. He just couldn't make anything in either of these games, but I never got the sense of like, oh man, he's taking bad shots. Like
Right, right.
the process was good, the shot selection was good, the way that he was moving within the flow of the offense and taking clean looks for the vast majority of them, he just couldn't get anything to fall. I thought the shot did look a lot better off the catch than the bounce. As that off ball scorer, someone that you can put in movement and kind of have him running off screens, running off handoffs into the middle of the floor to then use that off ball movement to generate on ball scoring reps or some playmaking opportunities for him. I think there's a lot of really fun stuff that we're going to see grow within Caleb Holt's game throughout this year in terms of how they use him, the different levels of responsibility that they throw at him. They ran a couple possessions in that Ukraine game with him at the point. I thought that was interesting. I thought a lot of his playmaking stuff was a little too predetermined, but he's a two guard. So it's like, okay, well, you're not playing point, so I expect that mid August. I I'm not surprised by that. It's not a red flag by any means, but I'm really excited to see what it looks like in November and then January and in March and see what the difference looks like throughout this season because the process with him on both ends of the floor, it was just outstanding, especially on the defensive end. I thought the way that he was flying all over the place, making off ball rotations, jumping passing lanes, challenging guys at the rim from the weak side, gobbling up rebounds galore and then pushing in transition. I don't know. Obviously, it would have been great if he came out and shot 60%, but I don't know what else he could have done in these two games to get Arizona fans more excited about what he's bringing to the table.
Look, we've already started talking to him this way about this class, and we've said like, hey, everyone's going to say Tyron Stokes, freshman at Kansas, but this is why I say it's wide open because like you watch Caleb Holt, and he's the best player by far in the court in terms of talent and upside, and that's on a cold shooting stretch for 2 games. If the shot comes around, like this is my wild card to get a real run at the top. Like I think just because of the toughness, the two-way upside, if he checks in at 6'5" ish, you know, with good length, with good pop, with good toughness, um, there's a lot of paths for him to all of a sudden be a real like teams are just kind of like drooling over Caleb Holt of being like, is this a I don't even know, like a way too early pro comp, but like, is this a Drew Holiday ish type of guy? Is this? I got D Wade stuck in my head because of the other episode we just did. But like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, he is a
Mhm.
physical, big combo guard that wants to hunt the lane, and he can shoot it a little bit. It's just got to be a consistent. Now I'm saying he can shoot it a little bit, and he's what 10 for 33 ish from the field in 2 games. So got to figure that out. But I think there's a lot of upside with his game. What else you got? Anything on Caleb Holt, or do we need to stop burying the
But like
lead?
just to further emphasize kind of what we've been
Yeah,
saying, and I guess triple down on it at this point. But at this point in the year, I would much rather him play the way that he did rather than play worse but just be on a heater and be out there
I
chucking
agree.
up shots and making absurd things because that'd be fun. That'd be better for this for social clips and throwing out highlights on Twitter and TikTok and Instagram and all that kind of stuff. But in terms of the actual basketball and in terms of what actually matters, I absolutely loved what we saw because of that. If he shoots 30% all year, then okay, cool, it's not going to be good enough. I don't expect that to be the case though. Aside from Caleb Holt, I thought Ivan Kchenkov was the biggest standout in these two games. I thought he looked tremendous. The defense was terrific, as it kind of always is. So that wasn't a shocker. The rebounding was good. I thought his offense looked so much better. And not to the point of him being a lethal shooter or anything like that. I thought it looked a little smoother, a little more comfortable, a little more confident, but just everything in his offense was quicker. It was more decisive. It was more confident. It was more comfortable. The way that he got from point A to point B, that straight line speed, the ability to get downhill, finish through contact, finish at different angles around the rim. I thought it was fantastic. And then you sprinkle in some of the connective passing. I really, really loved what he showed on the offensive end.
He looks fantastic. He looks outstanding. He looks like this is what you're dreaming of the sophomore league. Like every sophomore that or every freshman that decided last year they're going to return for their sophomore year, we're praying it looks like this.
Yeah.
Braylon Mullins, we're praying it looks like that. Every single part we're like, oh my gosh, but I'm in a dangerous world with him. How high do you think he could get? I think top 10 is not crazy.
Whoa. Okay.
I really don't. I'm saying end of the year. I'm looking at this class. I get very uncomfortable fast with the top 10.
Sure.
And if I have a 6'8", 225, 230 tough two-way 3-and-D plus, that's a really smart player also.
Well, I'm going to need that 3 to actually be a
you need a higher volume.
Legitimate.
100%. You need a higher volume. Probably what? 5 attempts to get top 10. What do we need? 5 attempts a game?
What was he at? Oh,
he had to be low last year. 6 or 7 is a lot.
And he was at 5. And
he was at 5 last year?
He was at 5.3 per 100.
Per 100. Okay.
He took 104 attempts last year, which was way more than I thought he took.
That's a big number compared
but
to
at 31.7%. That's way more volume than I was anticipating.
I would have guessed like 70s.
I was going to say like half of that. But I guess later in the year he started letting it fly a little more. But
he's the White Russian.
And if he gets that up to like 7 or 8 attempts per 100 possessions and is at like 35%, that would be huge. I think that would be.
Yeah, I'm really spicy. It's August. I'm getting spicy, but I do think lottery's legit opportunity. This isn't like he's gonna be he can be a sophomore that can defend the crap, and he's a smart player. He's good feel, but I'm interested to see this Arizona team in a couple months because I wonder if they're going to play a little bit like they're going to feed him a little bit more than we might be expecting. I wonder if he's going to be more of a decision maker, not point forward. I don't think he has the handle to do that, but maybe like kind of running the offense, the top of the key a little bit, making some decisions.
They had a couple possessions
in
the second half of the Ukraine game where they had him bringing it up, and like they didn't really ask him to do much with it. It was just like, hey, you're bringing it up, initiate the offense, like get us into whatever action that we're running here. Like he wasn't making high level reads, it was just kicking things off. But he wasn't doing that last year. They weren't trusting him to do that, so who knows? We'll see.
I know you jumped on me when I said top 10. I don't think it's that nuts. Now a lot of things need to happen, but I'm projecting like big steps forward. What has he got? He's got in 2 games, he's almost averaging 25 a game.
Extrapolate that out to 30 games in the like we're good.
We're good. 25 a game, we're good.
That's sustainable, surely.
Well, look, I mean, 2 games, he rolled his ankle today too, which I thought it was like a break. It was that bad of a roll, and I was like, oh my gosh, I had a heart attack on my couch.
Played.
Yeah, exactly. He's Russian. He's got to play. What has he got? He's got 8 stocks total. I think he's got 6 assists to 1 turnover. He's just a smart player.
Yeah.
And I think teams just go crazy over the positional size, toughness, intangibles, kind of like that. They'll know what he is. He won't last long. Now, he might not go lottery, but I don't think he's going to make it outside like the top 20 if he's taking another step forward this year. But we got a long way to go. I love him.
Someone else who I think may have a long way to go.
Oh wow! What a transition.
Dixon.
Okay. There. Okay.
Ooh. And just, I like Dixon, but this is more so just Arizona's point guard position in general, because this program has been kind of spoiled with a lot of stability at that spot over the last 5-6 years. With Jaden Bradley, with Caleb Love, obviously 2 very different players, but like you knew what you were getting. And this year, it's a big question mark for this team. I think it's my biggest question mark. I like Derek Dixon a lot, transfer from UNC, but he's still looking a little more like that kind of leaning more towards like the combo guard, the 2 guard type of role. Some of the connected passing that he was making, some of the touch passes, made a couple really gorgeous reads to the roller where he's looking off weak side defenders and being patient with it. So I'm excited to see what that growth continues to look like, month by month, and hopefully it's pretty exponential. And if it is, then I'm going to be really, really excited. But I'm not sure that they have that steadying point guard presence that Jaden Bradley tended to give them last year when he was healthy and, staying out of foul trouble. Um, I like Derek Dixon, but in both these games, I thought he looked at his best when he was playing more off ball.
I'm with you. They've got a bundle of combo guards right now. I need to also say they haven't had JJ Maniquit hasn't played. I'm
True,
sorry if I
very true,
butchered.
very true.
And
Good shout.
RJ Godfrey hasn't played. But what you're getting at, Metcalf, which is right, is these type of games make it very obvious of how important Maniquit's going to be.
Yeah.
Because you get to tight situation, big time opponent games. And if I was opposition, I would just be smothering Dixon and Caleb Holt. And they can handle, but they need just a clear ball handler that's just okay, you gonna pressure me? I'll pick you apart. But those guys are more like toughness, combo guard, speed. Dixon looks like a guy that would be really smart to be I'm gonna trust the process this year, be on the Caleb Love route, where maybe junior year you're really gonna start reaping the benefits. But he has flashes of you kind of get intrigued of okay, maybe if we just keep stacking, maybe you're hoping middle of the year something clicks. And
I think
I
he'll
like
get
him.
there. I just
Yeah.
don't know the timeline for it. Like how long or short is that timeline for him to really, because it's a tough transition. So I'm not trying to say that this is an easy thing that I'm hoping he emerges into, because when you're that combo guard and you're riding that fine line between all right, are you going to be a little more of a one? Are you going to be a little more of a two? It's a crucial kind of fork in the road for a lot of those guys, and it's really tough to go down one road or the other and really mold your game, especially if you're leaning, before that, to the other side. So I'm not trying to say that Derek Dixon is coming up short and missing expectations or anything like that, because it's a lot of work to do, and I think he'll get there eventually. It's just, is eventually mid-year, or is it the start of next year?
Yeah. I'm right there with you. There's a good player there. It's just, it might not be a, hey, you transferred to Arizona and now you're going to be declaring next year. I think it could be a hey, you'd be really smart to take your time here and you could really turn into a heck of a basketball player. It screams the, hey, look what we've done for Caleb Love and Jaden Bradley. We can do the same for you, because he can play. He's a smart player. It just needs time this season.
Yeah, and his passing from the two guard
Yes.
spot is awesome. The passing from the point guard spot is it's okay. Two other names that I, kind of left important, or I thought meaningful impressions for me. Cameron Holmes, I think, is really intriguing. Loved his defense, some connective passing stuff there. Fellow freshman with Caleb Holt, probably not a one and done guy. Curious what his actual miniature will look like in the regular season, but the kid has some tools, and I think long term is going to be really interesting. Then Mo Crievis is the big one for me, because before he withdrew from last year's draft, he probably would have ended up like a top 20, top 25 guy for me. Love the defense, love the rebounding, love the play finishing, but then the at rim finishing is just, it's never been good enough. And I came away from, there was some good stuff that he showed in both these games, mainly on the defensive end, but I came away really underwhelmed with him in these games.
It's tough because it seems like always in these exhibition games, you do leave with one guy that's just kind of ugh, I wanted so much more. And Crievis was the one that I feel like a lot of draft sickos, a lot of people that know Steelers, we're getting very excited about. You want to see some real progress from Crievis, because it seems like he just has all the opportunity to really be one of the top centers in this class, even as a senior. There's a lot of questions with these younger prospects. I would say there's a lot of question marks with this class in terms of just who's going to be ready to take a next step in their development, who's looking like they might be more of a project and maybe is a returning type of player. So there's like almost more intrigue with these upperclassmen because you kind of know what they are. And you're spot on, Metcalf. I think Crievis had a lot of steam last year where I was kind of shocked he went back, but I also understood it because I was like, okay, I get it. You're going to get
Yeah.
paid. And it didn't seem like he's going to drop too much because it's kind of like you're probably still going to be in that conversation, if not better, next year. But man, the finishing drives me nuts. It drives me insane as an Arizona fan. He's so gigantic in person. I think he's like what 7'2", 270. They have him listed at or
Feels
7'3".
bigger.
He looks bigger in person. He's humongous. And the guy, so many times I watch him, he plays like he's 6'9", and I'm like, ugh, it drives me nuts. So,
But like, he only does like when it comes to finishing, because every other instance when he's in the paint or around the rim, he's a physical presence, like 84th percentile on cuts, 83rd percentile on post ups, 63rd percentile as the roller, which that should be in the 80s. But the reason that matters and like the finishing issues really matter is because 14.4 offensive rebounding rate. That's really high. Um, he had a free throw rate last year of 70.3. That is astronomical. And if you're not finishing these, bunnies, these putbacks, you're missing out on extra points. Instead of shooting one free throw for a 3-point play, you're shooting two free throws. And it's weird because 78% on free throws seems like some encouraging scoring touches there, but the big fall off for him. Like I ran through like post ups, cuts, roller, all kind of above average scoring stuff. 18th percentile in points per possession on putbacks. So he has so he's generating a ton of offensive rebounds and not finishing any of them. On offensive putbacks, he shot 53.2%. On layups, he shot 60.8%. Now, the reason in a vacuum, those numbers mean nothing. But like when we look at some of the top bigs from last year's class, Adai Mara, Hannah Steinbeck, Adai Mara was in the 92nd percentile on on offensive putbacks and shot 77.8% on those. Hannah Steinbeck, 79th percentile, shot 63.8%. On layups, Adai Mara, 71.7%, Hannah Steinbeck, 63.8%. All of those numbers are significantly higher than Crievis, and he's just leaving easy points on the table and just playing kind of soft, and it's just bewildering because there are so many other instances of his offense. They're like, this dude's got touch, this dude can finish, this dude can score, and he just never did last year.
yeah, it's I like Crievis. I just those are alarm. I'm trying to be nice. Those are alarming for when there's a lot of people out there be like, oh, this is top 10, top 15. Like I take them in the lottery, and I'm like, well, hold on a sec. Like bigs like this, you gotta have the FU mentality inside. Like you get an offensive rebound, you gotta have all right, I'm dunking on three people
Yeah.
because how dare you try to challenge me, you ants. Like Edie had that, and I should have bought in way more, but Edie had the how dare you try to stop me around the basket? I
Yeah.
am going to eat you while I put this through the rig. Klingon had a little bit of that too. Like he
Mhm.
developed it where it was the nastiness. And I constantly am always waiting for Crievis to show it. And I feel like maybe I saw a game in person where he might have had 4 or 5 just like offensive rebounds he couldn't finish. And I was like, I'm going to lose my mind and pull my skin off my face. Like, what? Just dunk the ball. Like, try to go dunk over someone once. I'm not attacking Crievis. It's just that's the next part of his game where I'm like, you got to just.
It's his swing skill.
Yes. It's what prevents probably most teams from being like, I would skyrocket him at boards, but he's kind of a jumbo drop big. Like he that can't finish much. And it's tough to
And he was
draft
one
that
of the
really too
best.
early.
He was one of the best defensive centers in the country last year.
He's
And if
great
he
on
could,
defense.
like, literally, if he could make a layup, he would have been a top 20 pick last year.
It's like a no, because Walker Kessler is nasty around the rim too, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's just a big chunk of the cake missing with Crievis to be like, you have a very fun path to being a longtime center in the NBA, even as a backup. If you don't hit your, potential, you'd be a very valuable backup because of your defense. But the finishing just always gives me such a headache. And I'm like, ugh, like, come on, man. But it's he throws some bullets on his baby hook, and he he starts off his first exhibition game, pick and roll, dunk, like boom, boom, dunk. I was like, oh yeah, we're rolling. Then he throws like a lefty hook, I feel like later, and it was beautiful. And then I was like, please just tell me we're trending in the right direction. And then I think he gets another one later, just bullet line drive clank. And I was like, just all PTSD hit me at once. I was like, we're so back and I'm going to have a rough year. But I like Crievis. I would be scared drafting that too early. But he could play. He's solid. He's going to be valuable. It's just, you're right. You're spot on, Metcalf. He's leaving so many easy points. Like, his points per game should be way higher because he just can't finish.
Like, he's doing the tough job. Like, he's doing the hard work already by gathering the offensive rebounds, by drawing the fouls, and then just not taking advantage of the easy stuff, which is finishing. And, we said really similar things to Adai when he was at UCLA.
Yes.
So we're not saying it's impossible, because we've seen it a lot, but we also need to see it before it's like, oh, we're good to go. But that's one of the joys in returning